Howdy, this is David from the True Blue Sam blog again, and today we're going to look at taking down a Hickory Snag. We're going to see how this one is. This could possibly be some good firewood that's ready to go. I'm going to move the camera up to turn on my little GoPro. I got the GoPro on, and we're going to look up this tree. Look up this tree, you can see it's been dead for more than a year. You can see that's all that's left of the top right there in the middle of the screen. So the crown is pretty well gone. I'll mark the bottom of it with that orange chain guard so we can find it real quick when we want to look for it. Anyway, it's got, we'll move up here with the GoPro and see if we can catch that. I'm going to move up here with the GoPro and see if we can catch that. You can see it's got insect holes all over it, so the bugs are working on it. I'm hoping it's ventilated a little bit and the wood is dry. So we're going to look at how we're going to drop it, which direction. I'm going to go up the hill here first. We'll check that with the GoPro. Try to cut these in so you can see what I'm looking at. Gonna hang my Biltmore stick up there for a plumb, and if we look up and down it with that, we can see that tree tipping a little bit to the right. It's got just a little bit of lean to the north there, and then of course when we get clear up to the top, we've got that we've got the remains of the crown for a little extra weight up there to the north. Now we'll walk around the other way where we want to drop it. I'm going to move this thing so hopefully we can see it. Well, you'll be able to spot the tree we're looking at. Come on, stay there. There you go. We're going to walk around here to the north. And we'll put up our plumb bob again here. And right here at this spot, it's just almost perfectly vertical. And we'll go up there, we can see the remains of that crown is coming right out over us. So no side lean, that's good. I can aim it right here. I'm going to aim it just to the right of this little elm tree. I'm going to aim it right in here. And because it is kind of here, we'll go up here and thump it. I want you to listen to it. It sounds solid. I'm thinking up at the top, the wood's probably getting dry. Down here at the bottom, who knows? I want to go back here and look at my camera and make sure it's recording. Yep, it's got a little red dot going. So, and let me see, what's our diameter? Our diameter is real close to, it's a little bit under 12. 80% of 12 is almost 10, and so we need a hinge about that long. We need a hinge from about there to there. That's if it's solid. It may be, let's see how solid it is. A little punky there. May give it a, it'll come up a little bit. Come up a little bit. Yeah, see the bugs been eating on the sapwood there, but it's solid inside the sapwood. Anyway, put a hinge in it about like this, and then I'm going to punch it. I'm going to do the face, punch it, leave a hinge about an inch thick, and then right straight out the back, and it should go that way. And after I cut it loose, I'm going to turn up toward the barn. I want to get about 15 feet away. I'll try to get up there quick and we'll turn around and watch it finish falling. So I'm going to put my ears down and crank up. Okay, let's take a look at that wood. That's nice solid. That's good solid wood. You can see how the bugs have started eating in from the outside. That wood is not terribly wet, it just has a little bit of a cool feel. I tell you, I've cut up a lot of wood on the ground that feels more damp than that. I'm thinking when we get up high in the tree, we'll have good dry wood up there. And that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. Okay, so now we're gonna pull that out of the way. I'm gonna start a bore cut, punch through. I'm gonna shoot for leaving a hinge 1 inch thick, and then out the back. Beautiful. Yeah, we got to this tree just in time. You see how fast the bugs work in on a piece of hickory. This tree's probably been dead for 2 years or less. More than a year, less than 2, I'm thinking. And they eat it up quick. It does feel cool. Got a nice straight hinge. I don't know if I got my tape on me or not. Hey, I do. Got my tape here. We'll see. I was shooting for about 1 inch. See, there's the hinge right there. 1 inch. Yep, 1 inch. That's what I was shooting for. Okay, well, let's run up here. And I'm going to turn off the other camera because it can't follow me around. Stop that one. Turn that baby off. Okay, let's run up here and sample this wood. See how it looks up here. You see it is rotten at the top. See where that busted off down there. We'll take a disc out of here and see how she looks. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, yeah, I can make some good dry wood out of that. That stuff will burn right away. I'll put my ears down and crank up. Indeed. Yeah, we got to this tree just in time. Hey, just as a PS on the end of this little video, it's always good to review your stump after you're all done and kind of grade yourself. Now we had a 12-inch diameter tree, and on a 12-inch diameter tree you want the hinge to be about 80% of that. So 12 inches, 9.6. We're wanting a hinge, 9 to 10 inches long. Now this tree didn't have a top, so there's not as much weight to worry about, but we want to be in that neighborhood. Now out here on the outside, that wood's mostly gone from insects eating it. We didn't know that till we cut it, but I knew it was soft. But if we go from there over to here, we're about 9.5 inches, about 9.5. So we did real good on that. And 10 inches for the thickness of the hinge. You want it up to 10% of that. Hickory is real strong, and we're right at 1. So I was right at 1 inch. I could have thinned that up a little bit, but that was good. And you can see the hinge was bending, and on the back of that you can see fiber pull, and that's what happens as the tree tips. Those fibers can't all bend, and so the ones in back start pulling. So anyway, that hinge performed really well. On your cuts on the front, made our first cut coming down, second cut coming in, and you don't want those cuts to bypass each other more than ½ inch. You go a ½ inch and you're getting pretty weak. What happens if you cut this one too deep, it can allow that tree to tip forward into this space and get some bad momentum going, and when it closes up, it can split. And pecan is real bad about that. That gets people. You want to make a corner that's as perfect as possible. If you cut it back too far, then you're taking out hinge. And if you do that, do either one of those, you need to clean that up with your saw before you start your back cut. Now I punched it from this side. I wanted to work all from one side because I wanted to get done fast, because it is a dead tree. When you punch through with the top of the bar against this hinge, as it's going through, that saw, the bar is trying to crawl toward the hinge. It's just because of the forces of those teeth going around. It's trying to crawl in that way. And you go the other, if you punch in from this side, it's trying to crawl back. If you punch in from over here, it's trying to crawl back. If you're punching in from this side, it's trying to crawl toward the hinge. And you have to be aware of that and guide that bar. Really keep an eye on it and make it go straight. It's no fun to punch out your hinge. You punch out your hinge and then you got a big problem. You need to come up about 3 feet to redo the whole thing. You don't want to have fibers pulling and making that tree go the wrong way. So until you get used to doing it, it's safer to punch through at an angle and then swing the saw in. And you want to get your hinge nice and straight on the back. You do that by let me see if I can get this thing to hold still. It's making me seasick here. There we go. Yeah, when you're doing this bottom cut, I bring it back until I can see my chains meeting up with the top cut, and I push the dog in on that, and then I rotate that saw. As I rotate the saw, I'm watching this cut, and I can see the chain come right into that. When it comes in there, it cuts loose, and you've got a perfect cut. So learn to look right through that slot you've made with the first cut, and you make those two join up real nice. The way you make this cut meet this one is when you finish this cut, I press my elbow against my leg. Put my right elbow, my throttle, this hand, put this throttle elbow against my leg, and that locks in my elevation on it. I pull the saw out with my left hand, swing it up, rotate it, and bring it in. And generally you're going to be exactly at the right level. And that's a kind of a neat shortcut that a guy showed me, and it seems to work. It gets you in real close. You may miss it, but you can clean it up. So then, after I got this done, I knew it had forward weight, didn't need any wedges. I just went right out the back. You go out the back, click your brake, and turn around and get out of there. And you want to go 15 feet or more. And I went far enough. I just went far enough I could turn around and catch that thing coming down. So anyway, look at your stump when you're done. Kind of grade yourself. You want the back of this, you know, the front cut and back cut to be very close. On the old style, before they did bore cutting, they'd make this back one about 1.5 inches high. And the idea there is when the hinge breaks, when the tree's halfway down, it make a ledge back here would keep the tree from crawling back and getting you backwards. Well, you know, these trees have a lot of forces going on. That may work and it may not work depending on the situation. It's better if you have a 70 to 90 degree opening and that hinge keeps the tree hooked to that stump all the way to the ground. It's just better. So, okay, see you later. Thank you for visiting.